Welcome to your Sales Catalyst training module. This is set up to be really the last one that you do, but I realize some people pick and choose which ones they do in what order, but this is really meant to come after you understand branding and then your marketing and advertising and just really tying it all together, putting a pretty bow on it, and like it says here, igniting growth through the connections with your guests. So we have really moved through so many just really pivotal things that are going to help your business launch to succeed from the start and thrive from the start. And a lot of what we've talked about through these different modules, you can read about so many of these best practices in various business books. One of my favorites for new businesses especially is the E-Myth, and he talks about launching your business really as turnkey. So how do you launch your business in a way that it is set up to already be a well-functioning business? Even though you're brand new, that's okay, but you just want to really have all your systems in place so that things can be replicated successfully. And that's really the tools that we've given you here, starting with your mindset and your routine, to those pest control systems to make sure that things are really organized and accounted for, the sunlight, which is kind of the spotlight, the branding and your brand story. And then we're wrapping it up, this module and this last one, with adding fertilizer and nutrients to what you've planted so it really can grow. Now, today I have this broken down. Actually, it's pretty short, 3 short parts, because I feel very passionate about, a sincere customer engagement, AKA sales. But it's not complicated, but it's vital. So I want to get through these 3 and really hopefully get your buy-in to truly why this can really make or break your business for you. So the first is truly understanding why that selling environment is going to be so important. And I'm not talking about an environment that feels salesy or commissiony or what have you, but it's just the environment you create for your customer to have them want to come back. And then a simple 4-step formula that a lot of the great successful companies use. They maybe add a 5th step or a 6th step to make it even more customized to their business, but it's a really great formula. And then I want to give you some hope, because things are wrong sometimes. You get upset customers, mistakes happen within your business, which frustrate customers, and you're not alone in that happening. And I just want to give you some guidance for how you can navigate through that. So we've talked about this before. Thank you so much, Jay, for educating us all in these 3 massively important areas that really are the only way to grow your business. And we've talked about this before. You either will need to get more customers to want to buy from you. You will need to get those customers to be able to spend more from you, or you need to get your existing customers to want to or need to come back to you more often. And it really is going to depend on the nature of your business. The most successful, thriving businesses have figured out how to make all 3 of these ways to grow their business happen simultaneously with their customers. And there are certainly ways to dig in and do that no matter what it is that you offer. But knowing that, what you do with the culture in your store in regards to the relationships you build with your customers will affect all of these. When you have a really happy customer, and I get into this slide later, but they are going to come back and they're going to insist that their friends and family come along as well. So that's a way to get more customers, is by word of mouth. A great way to get higher sales is they love what it is you offer. So when you add something additional to offer, they just want to buy it because it's part of what you offer. It completes their experience. Or frequency, when they love what it is you offer and you can offer things that are useful regularly, then that will up their frequency to want to support you. So I have been in a retail and hospitality industry based business for well over 30 years. And I have worked on my own business. I have worked for incredible entrepreneurs and business owners. And then I have worked for amazing large corporations. And I will tell you this recipe truly does not deviate. And those who have deviated from this recipe have either gone out of business, needed to file bankruptcy, have had to lay off people, have had to slice inventory, close locations. When you have this recipe in place, it really does set you up for success. So the first part that's vitally important for any business is to have a great product or service that you're going to be offering. You got to offer what's relevant and what people need, and it has to match the quality that you sell it for. So that's very important. The second part is you really do need a strong branding and marketing message. You have to. Your customer is digital now. He or she is out there, but the way to reach them is digitally. And if you don't have a really strong message that they can connect to and want to be part of, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. But truly, the most important part is once you have those other two in place, if you don't create an amazing customer experience time after time, regularly, it can ruin your whole business, or it can mean the survival and then thriving of your business. So remember, and I talked about this with the marketing module, that running your business is expensive. It is, right? You got to pay rent, you got to pay, for various platforms, right? You have subscriptions that you're part of to be able to serve your customer. You have to buy the inventory for what it is that you do for your customer. But there is one thing that is absolutely free, and it is the most important thing, and it is the experience that you give every single one of your customers. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this. Your customer has the choice every moment of the day whether or not to buy from what's in front of them, whether they are scrolling on social media and an advertisement comes up there, or they are driving down the street and they see various businesses that they have bought for or considering buying from as well, or just researching something and something comes up in their feed that will meet the needs of what it is that they are researching. Your customer has the choice whether or not to buy from specific brands, and there are usually 3 different lenses that your customer is going to assess their decision through. The first lens is going to be quality. They need to believe that what it is you are asking them to pay reflects in what it is that they get for that price. So this can be really challenging because I've had entrepreneurs that we've helped and help them launch successfully, but they really struggle with what to price their goods or services at because they either don't recognize their own self-worth or what it is that they bring to the table that's just beyond what the goods or service that they offer, but them as an individual, their compassion, their sincerity, what they do with part of the profits from their business to give back to a charity or foundation they believe in. There's just so much that goes into the quality that can affect the cost of what you sell it for. But your customer needs to perceive and understand that. So how you treat them is part of their perception of quality as well. Secondly, the lens that they'll look through is the experience. How were they treated when they called you for questions? How were they treated when they emailed you, when they walked into your door? I literally have I love to shop small businesses. It's one of my favorite. And I just remember so painfully walking into this one business. I was really excited. They were an antique shop. And I walked in and who I'm guessing is the owner or somebody was behind the counter, head down in the books. Like they had all these ledgers out and everything, calculators and calculator tape. It was a mess at the register. And I walked in the door and the person didn't even look up. They just said, "I'll be right with you." Like almost like they were pissed. And like, one, I didn't ask you for anything, so you didn't need to tell me you'll be right with me. But if that was your effort to say hello to me, like, no. So running a business is stressful. It's expensive, yes, but you need to remember how you make your customer feel in your tone, your body language, your nonverbal cues. That all plays into the lens of how they perceive your business. And then the ease. How easy is it for them to get what it is you offer? Is it something, it's what you offer? Could it also be digitally available? Like, as a brick and mortar, can you offer things that are home delivery or buy online, pick up in store quickly? It's something like that. So that is usually what helps a customer filter through where they want to spend their money. Now, I've pulled together here some of the top rated customer experience brands that I think most of us, especially those of us in North America, are going to recognize. Some of these are luxury brands, some of these aren't, but these are brands that are known for how they treat their customers. And that is part of it's hugely the reason for their success, is what the CEOs, decades ago rolled out as far as an expectation, and what has continued to be upheld in how they train their employees for how to treat their guests. These companies are really continuing to thrive in a crowded marketplace because of how they treat their customers. So I love this, right? Loyal customers. This is what I was saying. They don't just come back to you. They don't just simply casually recommend you. A loyal customer is going to insist, vehemently, they're going to insist that their friends do business with you. And I've been that person too. Oh my gosh, just went to this amazing little spot. We have got to go. And then week after week, I bring another set of friends, and those friends turn into locals and regulars for them as well. So it's all about how you treat your customers and the experience they get when they're with you. So some scary facts here. 84%, you can read a lot of these. I'll highlight a few. 84% of businesses that work on improving their customer service saw an increase in revenue. 96%, look down there in the center, 96% of consumers say that customer service is important in their choice of loyalty to a brand. That's huge. That's almost everybody, right? There are those few shoppers out there, and you may be one of them. You don't want to be bothered when you go into a store. You just want to get in and get out. So you look through the lens of ease. But I guarantee you, if somebody at that store was rude or short with you, you probably would not go back unless that was the only place you could get those items and it was the most convenient place. So that's right. Like, it really, you'd at least be nice to people, your customers that come in. Look at this. 77% of consumers say inefficient service detracts from their quality of life. So 69% of consumers shop more with brands that offer consistent customer experiences. So again, the information we're bringing you guys, this is not Kristen's world. This isn't Sage Consultants' world. This is what is known to be proven and effective out there. And we're compiling this information to give you the fuel and the ammunition that you need to make smart decisions as you launch your business. Look at all of these, like CEOs or business executives, and what they have said. Lombardi, it takes months to find a customer and seconds to lose one. This is so true. I have seen businesses pour so much time and money and their budget only into marketing, but they don't put anything into developing their sales team and keeping their sales team happy and inspired. And I've seen people like, I was excited to come in here, but forget this, right? And that's so scary to hear. Shep says there is a big difference between a satisfied customer and a loyal customer, right? Your goal shouldn't be just to make sure nobody's upset. Your goal should be to make them want to come back to you and bring their friends and insist that others come shop from you. Tony, customer service should not be a department. It should be the entire company. So like I said, this is not just what I'm saying. This is what successful CEOs and business executives and owners are saying. And they started out small like we are. Like, I understand you're like, it's just me. What? When I get bigger, I'll worry about that. No, you won't get bigger if you don't worry about it right now. Business giants and successful CEOs all say the same thing. Make every customer your number one priority. All right. So part 2, those 4 steps to a really great experience for your customer. Now, this could be something, if you want it to just like print this part out, We can send you the slide for that if you want. Actually, that might be something good to do. But this could be something that you have posted if you're a brick and mortar, maybe in your back area, to remind you and to make sure it's consistent from everybody. Even if it's just two of you, it's easy to get caught up in the stress and the task of the day. But when you look at the steps that you want to make sure you give to each of your customers, it helps create muscle memory and something that becomes really natural and authentic. So we're going to dig deeper into these 4 steps. The very first one is making a genuine connection. I can't tell you how many of you have gone to the mall and you walk into a popular retailer and you're like, hi, welcome to this store. All of the blanks are 30% off today. And it's just a genuine, it's just a robotic script that some kid at the front door is saying to you because their boss told them to say that to you, right? So you don't want to feel like that, especially as an independent business. You get the chance to make a truly genuine connection and control how every guest feels. So your greeting is going to make or break their perception of your business. I told you when I walked into that particular antique store and the person behind the counter didn't even look up and they almost felt like they was yelling at me, I'll be right with you. So your greeting, it's your tone, it's your body language. All of this is really important. I'm not asking you to act and be fake. I'm asking you to sincerely care about the people that are going to keep your business afloat. So your greeting should be sincere. And if you feel like you don't have a tone that feels welcoming, that may be something you want to practice, right? There's a whole difference between welcome in, how can I help you today? And hey, welcome. Wow, I really like that top you're wearing. You look really nice. So what brings you in? I'm so excited to have you here, right? A sincerity about the individual. They're a human being coming to your business. They're not a statistic. They're not a number. You need it to be genuine. The second thing you want to do as part of making a connection is to learn more about them, right? Have they shopped with you before? What's bringing them in? Do they need something quickly? You want to understand more about what their needs are. And we'll dig into this deeper, but it is good right at the beginning interaction to understand more about them, and then make it super personal about them. This person could be your next best regular client that you can depend on weekly for a significant purchase. So what specific details can you learn about them? I have a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, who start a client book, and that can be digitally or old-fashioned, but you keep track of your clients, you get a little information, and if you see they become really consistent regulars, there's ways you can really delight them as you have them consistently. So one of the things to remember is that your customer's decision from you is an emotional decision. They are not necessarily doing it because you're asking them to. They're doing it because they're connected to something you're talking about emotionally in your branding or your brand story or your marketing. And they are going to remember how you make them feel. So when they call you, when they email you, when they come into your brick and mortar, if they are not your priority, they will remember that and they will find someone who will make them a priority. Okay, step 2, and this is where I said we're going to dig a little deeper. This is where you need to uncover the need. And we do this, we all learn this in elementary school. The W questions, right? That helps you learn something when you ask the W questions. So ask the W questions with your customer. Why are they here? Is there something special going on? And celebrate that special occasion, perhaps. Who is it that they're coming in for, especially if you are a business that could provide something that could be gifted, right? So for example, you might have somebody walking in and she needs to buy a dress, but she's buying a dress for her daughter's wedding. How exciting is that? So then what can you do to get mom and daughter back in to get additional things for the daughter's wedding, right? It's as you learn more about them, you can think about how to expand on the sale in what they need. How special would it be to have a private appointment with a little, sparkling wine and celebrate her daughter getting married and let them shop privately and get more things? And then when is it that they need what it is you offer, especially if you're service-based? You don't want to, get them too far in the conversation if it's something that they need tomorrow and you are at least, 2 weeks, you need a 2-week leeway. So it's really important to figure that out quickly so that you don't have a frustrated customer when you can't deliver what it is they need. So just remember, right? Your customer most likely is going to have other businesses that they could choose from, especially when it comes to small businesses. Customers are going to do what is the most convenient. And unfortunately, sometimes big box retailers and big box businesses are more convenient. They're closer to their home, they're lower prices, they have better hours, right? Your customer might be getting off work at 9 p.m. at night and your beautiful little boutique is closed. So they're going to stop in at Target. So your customer has other choices for where to buy from, but they want to feel like a priority. And that's where I'm going to keep saying over and over, when they call you, when they email you, when they DM you, when they walk into your building, if you don't treat them like a priority, they will go somewhere else that they feel valued or it's easier to get what it is they need. Okay, step 3, be reliable. This is so important. You want to work on communicating what it is you offer, understanding what they need so that you can be reliable in what it is they will obtain from you. So it starts with being honest and transparent. So you want to let them know what it is you have, what your pricing is. You don't want to be sneaky about things. You don't want to make up excuses if something's not available or if something's a different price. What do you offer? And be unapologetic about what the value for it is and be proud of that. And that's okay. Be timely. This is so important. If your customer needs something by a certain time and you are service-based, can you deliver that? Even if you're like a cafe or a restaurant, when your customer walks in, if they tell you, I'm in a rush, don't say, yeah, we could squeeze you in. Come here. Like, let them know it's going to be about 30 minutes. We're a little backed up in the kitchen. Rather than them know that and then choose to wait 30 minutes to still get your amazing food, than for you to try to pacify them when they like looking at their clock. I told them I was in a rush. And then be consistent, because that is really one of the fastest ways to lose a regular customer, is to have them consistently wondering what they're going to get this time when they come from you, right? One time it's amazing. The second time it was horrible. Okay, we'll give them a chance again. It was amazing again. They go back another time with friends. It was horrible. And they're like, oh my gosh, never mind. Let me just go somewhere where I know I'm going to be taken care of, or I'm going to get good service, whatever it is. Okay, be consistent. Because when you really dig into it, your customer's time is the most important thing to them. So being prompt to answer inquiries, communicate quickly, let them know if adjustments or changes are needed and what your solution is. Be the problem solver from the start, not an excuse maker. And we get into that later in this module. And then step 4, I love this. And when I took you through your leadership module, I talked about, your touch bases, really, how can you delight your customers even more? Well, this is a chance to really dig into that. And I love, brainstorming with business owners and entrepreneurs on how to be more memorable with their customers. And some of them are like so easy. Using your customer's name is huge, right? It acknowledges that they are an individual. So when you call them by name, or when they come into the building and you recognize them and you can, hey, welcome back in, John, right? That's so awesome. And that makes them feel really valued. Take time to learn those details. I talked about, from step 1, having a client book, whether it's digital or an actual client book. Get to know things about your customer. Imagine how you might feel if you went into a bar or restaurant after work one evening that you usually go to, and you recognize the bartender, but they just don't recognize you. And time after time, you leave them a good tip, and they're just like, hey, have you been here before? And it's like, you're not even there. Slowly, you're going to lose loyalty to that place. So, but then on the flip side, think about how you feel when you've walked in somewhere. Somebody who runs that business or works at that business is like, oh my gosh, so nice to see you again. Hey, how was your daughter's recital? Right? That can feel really good, because like, oh my gosh, you remembered me. And I tell you, that is going to do so much to build loyalty in your brand. It's insane. You can't pay for that type of loyalty because it comes from sincerity, but you have to be sincere first yourself. And then gratitude. Gratitude is so memorable for customers because so many places really don't do it. Like I go to the mall, I go shopping, and yes, they hand you your package. All right, thanks so much for coming in. It's like it's another robotic thing that people say. But what about sending a thank you email or a thank you card? Or what about asking them, just for some sincere feedback? Hey, I really appreciate that you shopped with me today. Tell me, what could I have done better? Right? I would really appreciate what you have to say, and just come from a place of gratitude and being willing to evolve and be better for your customers. So kind of wrapping this section up here, why buy from you? I've given you lots of different reasons, but your customers have things in their life that are really important to them. You have things in your life that are important to you. So think about when you remember those details as a business owner, or you teach your team how to learn those tidbits and to use them, it's going to create a far more memorable experience that will build your customers' loyalty to your brand. So in the end, what do you think? What's going to be the bigger factor of why your customers should come back to you? Are you still going to say it's because of what I sell? I have the best cheeseburgers in all of Central Florida. I know who you are. And yes, you do. But you also treat us very well when we come, and you treat all of your customers well. Even when there's a line of 40 people at your tent at the market each week, you still are kind and fun with everybody, and you treat them with respect, even though you're doing 10 things at once. So I come back to you because of how you treat me. So I tell you over and over and over, this is so important. It's how you treat your customer will be the deciding factor of how, if they come back to you. All right, third part, mistakes happen. Yes, they do. You can't avoid it. You are a human, and that's okay. Your business is contributed to by humans. You have people that are affecting when your inventory gets shipped. You have drivers on these trucks working so hard, and maybe they get a flat tire, right? There are things that are going to happen, and how do you navigate that? So first of all, I think it's really important that we understand this. Customers are not expecting us to be perfect, but what they do expect is for you to fix things when they go wrong. And I just loved this example of turning a really bad situation around, right? And if you have kids and you understand the emotional breakdown that happens when a critical part of a toy goes missing, you will understand why I said this is huge. So this wasn't me that this happened to at all, but I can relate to this. So apparently something was missing from a set that a customer had bought from the Lego Harry Potter set. Okay. So here is how Lego handled it. They said, thank you for getting in touch with us. They needed pictures for the set that was, had the missing part. And then here's how they handled it. Listen, I think Harry might have discarded his invisibility cloak a bit carelessly. Of course, we're going to send you the part to finish your Lego Harry Potter Great Hall set. Sadly, I'm only a muggle, and no matter how hard I try, I can't use a spell to make the required part magically appear on your doorstep in an instant. So I need to ask your patience, because they have to ship it, and it's coming from Denmark. So anyways, but then look at this, listen to this. Don't be scared when Voldemort knocks on your door. I've included him, the minifigure, to your parts order to make up for the experience a little bit. I hope I've been able to inform you sufficiently, wishing you lots more magical building fun and a Bricktastic 2019. So what Lego did is they communicated to their customer. They kind of played around with, I guess a muggle is someone who isn't magical in that storyline. So that's why they couldn't make it magically appear, but they were going to send a little something extra as well. So there are things that you can do to fix customers' problems and delight them a little more. But instead of just being like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, or blaming someone else. Oh, I can't believe they didn't pack that. I'll fire that person. Like, that's really not what we want to hear as customers. We just want to know that you're going to fix it. So I pulled together things that have honestly done me in as far as a consumer for other brands. And I have seen it just go south for leaders who try to say this to a customer. But these are what I call your dangerous final words. If these words are in your vocabulary, They are very dangerous, and they could be the beginning of a downfall for your brand. The phrase, I don't know, right? And that very well may be true. You may not know, and that's okay. But it's really how you say it and the intention behind how you say it. So if you can work on the mindset of saying something more like, you know what, let me find out for you. I need to do some more research and I will get back to you. That sounds a lot more problem solving instead of, oh, I don't know. I don't know why that would happen. It's not my fault. Not my fault is there. I can't. Oh, that just gets me as a consumer, right? Don't tell your customer that you can't. While there may be things that you sincerely cannot do. For example, Lego could not make that invisibility cloak appear instantly for that child. What they can do is get it expedited to you and include a little something extra. And so when you come at a frustrated customer with a solution, then you're able to come to a resolution much faster. And then it's not my fault. Heads up, when you are a business owner or CEO, everything is your fault, whether it literally was or not, because you chose the location, you chose the product or service, you chose whomever you might have hired in to help be part of representing your business. You chose the systems that were in place, and you chose the vendors and the way that they choose to ship it to you. So while it's true, delayed shipping may not be your fault, you can change up how you present that to your customer. Empathy goes such a long way. You know what? I really understand why you're frustrated. I am too. That shipment will not arrive at this point for another week. I have this I could offer you. Would that work? When this arrives, would you like me to have it delivered to your home instead of you having to come back here? Right? You can give options and see if the customer understands. For the most part, we're pretty logical human beings. So when we realize that something is beyond a realistic control, we tend to calm down and understand that there is an effort being made to solve. So the last of the dangerous final words, just calm down. Calm down. Hate when I hear leaders saying that to customers. Calm down is what you need to be telling yourself. It is never something you should say out loud to your customer. First of all, if you remain calm and solution focused, it's very likely that your customer will never get out of control and loud themselves. They are going to somewhat mirror what it is that you're offering. And then just try to take a moment and see it from their perspective. Your customer is never required to understand the stresses and challenges of your business because you invited them to you. You opened your doors, you're posting on social media, you said, come to me, I have great things for you. They are not required to take in any accountability or understanding for the stresses that you have. You said, come by for me, and they want to do that. So you need to really reflect when something is going wrong, how they might be feeling. You know, was this a really special occasion that they saved up a lot of money for to utilize your business, and they don't really have the extra funds to just go get a backup, right? That could be really frustrating for them. Or maybe, I don't even know, but cut that part out. So there's lots of different things that could be the reason that your customer is so upset when something doesn't go right. Now, there are a few out there. There are some customers who make it their mission to manipulate situations, right? We've seen it. They either want to be the next TikTok star, or they realize if they cause a scene that they usually get what they want. So how do you handle these? Because getting loud and frustrated with them just fuels them. And in an age today where everybody is all about what the customer is doing and how dare they treat me like that, and cancel culture, you want to make sure that you maintain your why, your sincere reason for wanting to take care of your true guests. And if you stay calm through this, you won't give them any fuel to accomplish what it is that they're trying to accomplish. So if they are causing a scene, you need to stay calm and constantly be saying, I am happy to come to a solution together. Can we talk peacefully about this? And if they're still yelling, be like, I would like to come to a solution for you. I would like to figure out how to make you happy. Can we talk about this? And what's going to happen is by you calmly, not condescending, there is a way to talk passive aggressively, and that just fuels them. But if you can remain calm, if they are trying to get something out of it, they realize it's not going to work, they may storm out your door and say, I'm going to write a bad review or what have you. Honestly, don't worry about that, because your presence, what your other customers viewed, how you treat your other customers, the presence that you offer yourself on social media for how you treat your customers, people aren't going to believe reviews like that. It's okay. And then the habitual complainers. Oh my goodness, I can't. They are so frustrating, right? They come in and they try to do something within your business and they have some sort of complaint that they then in the past maybe have gotten something comped or discounted based on them complaining. So they've learned if they come in and they complain, then they will get a discount. So unfortunately, you might have this happen 2 or 3 times before you realize the nature of that particular regular. So you might have some loss for those first 2 or 3 interactions, but first time, shame on them. Second time, shame on you. Time to learn. So when you have those habitual complainers walking in, you actually want to meet them at the door and discreetly, not in front of everybody, you want to just let them know, I am so glad you're giving us a chance again. I know the past 4 times you were here, you were really frustrated with something. So I personally am going to make sure everything is to your standards. So for example, you deliver, maybe you're a restaurant. This seems to happen in restaurants a lot. You personally deliver their plate of food and wait while they try the first bite. Is it cooked the way you asked us to this time? Because if they say yes, then they really can't go back and argue, right? And then maybe even be part of how that server or is interacting with them and just encourage them to be sincere. Again, we don't want to be passive aggressive. We don't want to be like sneaky in what we're doing. It needs to come from a place of sincerity. But if you meet them at the door and let them know, hey, I'm going to make sure that this experience is great, they will either be so pleased that you want to make sure they've had a great experience that you will end that bad behavior, or they will give up, realize they are not going to get a free meal or a discounted item, and they will go take their little trend somewhere else. Okay. So, but when it comes to sincerely upset customers, not your habitual complainers, not your, attention seekers, but when you have a customer who is disappointed in how something went, they are going to be your greatest source of learning. Remember that. It's going to be okay to make a mistake. How can you learn from it? All right. So we talked through the why, right? And really why it is so important for you to build this amazing experience with your customers. And we talked about 4 possible steps and the sub-steps within those for that consistent experience. And then I hope I gave you a little hope for when things go wrong, because it will. Right? Every business has its ups and downs. It has its happy customers and its frustrating customers. So I hope I gave you a few solutions for how to navigate through that, at least through a mindset. So this week, your homework is to really dig into recognizing how important a loyal customer is, and really transitioning your mind from seeing them as just transactions to really being, there it said perfect, an invaluable advocate for your business. So dig into that. Don't forget about our monthly Q&A forums where you can submit us questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas, and we pool them together and address those with the whole Sage community monthly. We love some of the questions that come in. It helps so many others. So speak up. Please don't think there is no wrong question or silly question. And chances are, if you're wondering, somebody else might be too. So please speak up. And then in regards to this, especially around customer and your mindset, we have our Sage Consultants Books and Booze podcast where we dig into various books, business related books that really help you with various aspects of running your business. And almost all of them give a nod to your mindset and approach to your business and your customers. So would love to have you join us there. And don't forget, we are here for further and additional training. So if you already have a business that is up and going and you have a team of people and you would like to take this training that was designed for you as an entrepreneur, and we have a program of this that is designed to really train your leadership team and everyone. We have different programs available depending on what's right for your business. So please don't hesitate to reach out for how we can really help catapult your business and in regards to its customer experience even further. So thank you so much. So grateful to have you part of this 8-week boot camp in whatever time frame you chose to move through it. I would love feedback because we want this to be helpful for you in growing your business. And so if there's something that you felt really was great and you just wanted us to expand on it, that would be amazing. Or if there was something that you felt was outdated, that's really great feedback too. So thank you. And just thank you for, letting Sage be part of this journey with you. It's such an honor and we're so excited. We'd love to see even more small businesses just grow and thrive and turn into enterprises. And if you want to have stores or shops or divisions of what it is you opened around the world, we want that for you too. Or if you just want this to be a really great, successful running business in your hometown so that you can make a little more money, we want that for you too. So really hope that this whole series was everything you needed. And as you grow into more of an enterprise and you bring in more employees, things change. Sage is here for you along that step of the way. So very excited to see you grow and to be there with you. Thank you all.